Yeah, set that up.
Rebel.
Oh, Daniel's playing the Rebels versus the Imperial Navy.
Rebels, we could see, we were talking about it in chat a bit earlier. The old Rebel vehicle with Smuggler. Might see a Tidarium. Might just see some Rebel cap ships. Might see some Rebel, spec forces.
Okay, so what do you got for objectives?
I have an enforced loyalty.
Ooh, enforced.
A follow the Jedi and a web.
Oh, looks like core Sith with Tarkin and enforced maybe.
Wasteland, running the trench, planning the rescue.
Oh, baby.
Whoa.
Whoa. This is a deck.
Superior intelligence and undercover.
The capture cards are back.
Under
Oh, baby.
web.
Under web?
So Jedi Rebel.
And he started with Watchers, which means that must have been the only Jedi objective he saw in his flop, because you definitely don't want that.
Why don't you just put them under your objectives, like in that line of like top?
Kind of easy like that. Alright, so this would be the bottom objective.
Alright, and then what was under there?
Owen, undercover, superior intelligence.
Okay.
Daniel, can you just shuffle your objectives down on your mat? They're a bit high on the camera. Yeah, that'd be fab. Cheers, mate.
Andy, just so you know, if you want to talk to them, you should mute Hangouts first, or we get an echo. It's not a big deal, but
Echo. Yep. So objectives are out. Looks like Josh has, taken some time to realise what deck he's up against, and they're going to go. So Dal.
So yeah, we have planning the rescue and running the trench on the on Daniel's side, which are both things that I don't see very often.
No, running the trench 5-2.
Yep.
Correct.
And I have no idea what the bottom one is. I cannot see it.
It's planning the rescue. It says forced reaction after this objective enters play. Reveal the top X cards of your deck. X is equal to the number of objectives your opponent has in play. Then place each revealed card at an enemy objective as a captured card.
Oh, right, and this is the.
So he put them all under the
Emperor's
web.
Roger that.
So.
Josh plays a mouse droid.
And an expendable scout, so we got some Bach.
For a Bach.
And we have a Bach.
Speak of the devil.
That's not a bad setup turn for Josh. I mean, he got a resource, he got a mouse droid, 2 more units. I really like Bach against Bach with a lightsaber against any kind of vehicles, because 3 guns just shuts down vehicles so hard.
Yeah. We went to Sith lightsaber as well. Tactics. All good. Oh.
Got a Yoda.
Seeking a Yoda. Dial ticks up to 2. Look at that, people. On top of the dial.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
How many cards do you have in hand?
3.
So this deck is
I played
at
4
least 2 Yoda and a OB. That running the trench is Rebel only, which is why he's starting Rebel. I wonder how much more Jedi is in there.
I'm going to discard R2D2.
R2D2.
It's coming out of the running the trench spot.
Yep, that's Luke's R2D2 from running the trench, correct. For anyone who's just tuned in as well, so this is the finals for the Skype Winter League. Josh is coming into this needing to win 2 games. Daniel, just the one, I think.
Yep. You remind
There's Kraken.
There's the Kraken. Unleash the Kraken.
2 health, 3 health.
Smokey called it in chat. Good lad.
Well, Kraken is in planning the rescue, so
True.
that's
True.
It gains 1 white blast for each
I don't
captured
even know what this guy
card of
does.
engaged objective and reaction. After a unit or enhancement is rescued from the engaged objective, put it into play. Limit points.
So that's when you rescue a unit, put it into play. Oh,
yeah,
baby.
and he's gonna gain white blast for each captured card, so he could basically go and just destroy that Emperor's Web if he can win an edge battle there.
Gun and a black tactics 3 health, but he can get extra blast from.
Daniel is explaining
Yeah, this is.
Kraken does to Josh,
And
which I don't blame Josh. I've never played that.
I've not played much against Kraken.
It's obviously in Spanish. Oh, obviously he's Spanish.
At,
Both are going at web.
both at web.
All right.
So there's a couple of tactics coming in.
I will block with an expendable scout.
Okay.
So
How much
blocking
money
with the
do you have?
scout, he
I
needs
have
to
no
block
example.
because he needs to try to win that edge battle to shut off those white tactics.
So,
But I don't think you really want to throw Bach in front of that fight right now.
No, you don't want to throw Buck in front of that right now.
you win.
Daz on
Second
2,
line.
so Yoda's got 2 guns.
Pass.
Either way, though, he's going to get 2 black tactics off, which means I
Yeah.
assume
I have 5. How many cards
6
do
to
you
5.
Alright. When I use the action, the expendable scout.
Light side.
Discard a card.
Light side wins the edge battle.
Make me discard a card?
Yeah, you discard a card of your choice and draw 1 card.
And Josh
Okay, I'm gonna discard.
intelligently
the,
triggering the expendable scout's reaction there before he dies,
Infiltrator.
forcing Daniel to discard a card.
Alright, so they one shot the objective. I'm gonna tactics out the mouse droid twice. And then the Kraken gets to put one
First
into
objective
play.
down.
I'm gonna go ahead and put in.
and he gets to put
Is he
something
any
into
card
play,
or
I
right?
think Owen was under there, if I remember
Unit
correctly.
enhancement.
It's a unit or an
I'm gonna
enhancement.
put
So.
superior intelligence into play. I get undercover and Owen back in my hand.
So yeah, undercover up and Owen back into hand.
Then
And the resource
Superior
location.
intelligence comes into play, which says action if it is not the conflict phase. Focus this enhancement to place a card from your hand at an enemy objective
going
as a
to-
captured card.
Ooh, baby.
It's pretty good.
pass turn to you and force loyalty. Dial up.
Force phase, I'm going to send a choke at Yoda.
Okay.
And then, yeah, enforce loyalty.
All right, so they triggered in force, and Yoda got
And dial
choked.
at 4.
Yeah.
The dial hits
4, yeah. Balance of the force still with the dark side, so they.
Josh really needs to pick up a lightsaber and a mission right now, because if he could lock down Kraken is not elite, so if he could lock down Kraken and targeted strike that Yoda out,
Yeah.
that would be
A good result. Well, Bok only gets targeted strike when he's attacking a mission, right?
up. There it is.
Oh,
There's
lovely.
Bach gets he gains targeted strike and 2 black blast, I believe.
Yep.
Oh no, wait, it's black. I don't know if it's black or white blast, but he gains 2 blast. I believe it's black.
Pansy reckons he smells an Arden Lin.
Library for 1.
More resources for Josh. So if he can,
I can
if he can
smell Arden.
survive this onslaught, he's in a good spot with resources for the late game.
Well, I mean, with that force choke, Bach is able to kill Yoda right now. He just needs. It'd be nice if he could tactics down that Kraken.
Yeah.
Why not?
Especially with that enhancement, since
Yeah,
it's
what?
once per turn.
3 open
Is it once?
resources,
It's not
one
even
away
once per
resolve.
turn. So he could just
4
put his
technically,
entire
so they
hand.
can
Yeah, okay.
No, you have to focus it. Never mind. I'm gonna stop talking.
you
I don't know how
don't.
to play that.
You don't play this game, Tom. Shush. Keep quiet.
Yep.
Keep quiet.
Send Bach at my mission.
Again, hopefully the quality of the streams are okay, guys. Might be a few
Strike
stutters.
Mission for 2 and
but,
Yoda for 2.
There you
Mission.
go. So Yoda does die.
And
Targeted.
Objective total
Yeah.
of 3.
Yeah. Comes at the mission. Targeted strike from Bok will kill Yoda and 3 on the mission. Halfway there on Dark Genocide.
Now that's kind of unfortunate. Josh had a lot of resources here. He has 4 resources open, and he didn't play anything else. So,
No.
and you would assume if he
Go
had
ahead
something like
and commit Bach.
a Force Lightning sitting back,
And I
He'd have
still
used
have
it
force.
on the Kraken.
he would have used it on Kraken. So
Okay,
yeah,
I got actions during your force phase.
Okay.
I'm gonna pay.
He may always have a.
one
No,
superior
no.
intelligence.
I was going to say Might of Rage, but he
I'm
probably
gonna
would have
put
used it
this
already.
Supporting fire underneath council. So council is your
Okay.
bottom objective.
so he's putting a card under Council so that Kraken gains that white blast. So Dante reminding us that it is Black Blast that Bach
I'm gonna
gains.
play
Hmm.
undercover.
Okay.
Also put it under council.
Ooh.
I'm gonna want
Undercover.
More
Target up to 2
cards.
cards in your discard pile. Shuffle the targeted
Okay.
cards back into your deck, then place the card in an enemy. What? What did he just do?
It's just stacking up Council of the Sith with more cards to rescue.
Character, leader,
It's brutal.
Yeah. It's coming in from left field with this light side deck. Probably.
Undercover goes
Right,
under
start
the
of your
objective,
Mhm.
and 2 cards get shuffled back into his deck.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So that Yoda just gets put back in the deck.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
So let's have a chat about this light side deck then. So it's a bit out of left field. I've not. Clearly, Kraken is a thing. You know, he's doing good work. But if you're coming into this as Daniel, needing to win both games, do you come with this light side deck? This is kind of crazy from left field.
Another Yoda you seek Yoda brings us up to 5.
Yeah. But no, I think Daniel is looking at this saying he's got the luxury of he can lose the first game and still pull it out of the bag.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends on how much Daniel has played this list. Like I said, I have not played this list, but it seems like it's doing work. You know, blows up an objective first turn,
Yeah, man.
Probably would've been better
puts
off
the
going
Yoda
second.
probably and the you seek Yoda back into his deck. So now he has good chance of hitting another Yoda.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Draw phase, I'm going to discard the Moisture Vaporator, keep my 1 card, and draw 5.
Ooh,
Okay.
discards a moisture vap, draws up. So Yoda's back.
Could you have turned off the delay on the stream? They're talking about that on the stream. I believe you can.
You can. I think there's this is kind of one of the first broadcasts we've done on the Fully Ops Twitch channel, and I think there's a lot of functionality on Twitch. I believe I could be wrong. It kind of unlocks once you are an established streamer. So manipulation of the Twitch delay might be something I can't do quite yet.
Gotcha. So Daniel just discarded a Moisture Evaporator, which means there is Owen in this deck.
Yeah, we saw him. He went under the objective on turn 1.
So
he should have Owen in hand actually, because he blew up the objective and rescued the cards. So unless he pitched Owen, he's got him available.
all right.
Alright, deployment.
There he is.
I'm just thinking about the unfinished business here. In this list, since it can only hit Jedi units, there's probably, I would hope that you have 4 or 5. Oh man, he just put a red 5 under that objective.
Which can come into play if he can. Yeah, Kraken can bring units and enhancements back into play if they rescue from an objective. So if he can blow up Council and rescue those cards, red 5 is going to come into play, I imagine.
Yeah, and I mean right now, Josh is Daniel's swinging Yoda at enforced, and since Josh only has 1 defender, he kind of needs to defend this, which means Kraken just goes and blows that other one up.
Yep.
Unless Josh has a rage, because I may know that he has some Mara in his deck.
Yeah, nothing in edge.
Okay.
He's going to.
You got hidden information, Tom.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You saw nothing.
Alright. I'll win on the middle objective.
Owen for an unopposed. Love it.
In the middle.
Farmer's doing work.
So, I'm going to put
He
1
is.
card in edge.
Okay.
Old Ben.
Oh, baby. Kenobi.
You just strike for unopposed.
Unfinished Kenobi.
Next engagement. Sack Owen. Unfinished business.
Oh, there we go.
For Obi-Wan. And Kraken and Obi-Wan. They're going to go on the bottom objective together.
That they do.
Brutal.
Oh, okay. So he does not have a rage or anything.
The second light side victory pile.
And red 5 comes into play.
Oh
Capture.
my god.
Yep.
So now, could he have? He could have pitched the Obi-Wan on the first attack, and then he could have sent red 5 at that middle objective. But I guess he doesn't care. He wanted to take the Force, and he needs to blow. He needs 3 more damage to end this game.
Yeah. Rage. Yeah, Jarrett. We were thinking rage as well, but it doesn't seem to be there. Just seems like a
Red 5's icons?
unfortunate
You have,
nothing to spend his money on last turn.
How many cards do you have?
I have 4 cards in hand.
Now goes up to 6, I believe.
Yep.
Just red 5 on the defense.
Draw phase.
So this is tough too because even if Josh can play something where he can take out that Dark
Kraken's not a
Genocide,
win,
he has
The Kraken is not
no overlap in keywords here or traits.
Hmm.
So he could kill one of the 3 units, but
Draw phase will bury a card.
And there's Mara's objective we see.
Yep.
Fall of the Jedi burying a card. Under
so that's
his-
pretty good because now as long as Josh commits a Sith unit this turn, he can lock out Kraken for 1 turn.
Yeah.
But Daniel probably needs a turn or 2 to set up the whole place a bunch of stuff under. So
Well, does he care about that anymore? He's just one more objective and he's got this game.
Jarrett mentions that he could have committed Bach, but Bach is actually committed. So.
Yes, Josh is using Force Commitment tokens, the little Sith token there. On the right side of Bach card is a commitment.
Those are from Nationals 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Daniel cares about setting up the rescue shenanigans of this deck anymore, really. He's just got to do 3 damage to Enforced, and that's the game.
Unless we have like a Yulon or something.
This is true.
But that looks like a Palpatine amount of resources that is being
1, 2,
focused.
3, 4, 5. Thinking carefully about where to spend these resources. And yeah, 6, it's got to be Palpy.
Play out a Palp.
And that's beautiful World's Alt Art Palpatine,
2015.
which
No, 14.
confirms that that's not Mick Sipra playing under the camera because he doesn't use promos.
Correct.
Why not Mick? Palpatine's on the board. If there's a unit that's going to pull this out of the fire for Josh, that's a good start.
Yeah, but like, I feel like he needs to.
Go to Force phase.
Yeah, he's passing on the conflict. He needs to take the Force right now.
Yeah, if he commits
Shadow
Palpy, he can put a focus on Kraken
And
with Mara's objective.
Palpatine. Use Agent both times and get.
Oh, twice.
Red 5's not elite, right? You forgot how to be?
Yeah, you forgot how to be elite.
Red
I
5
forgot.
Get him twice.
Focuses red 5 twice, so leaving Kraken available
Alright. Action during the Force phase. Undercover.
undercover.
Under Enforced Loyalty.
Oh, there it is.
And
Getting the setup already,
So undercover goes under Enforced Loyalty.
and he shuffles 2 cards back in.
There was an Obi-Wan, and I didn't catch the second card. Tom, did you?
No,
How many cards do you have in hand?
I feel like he should have left the Obi-Wan there and shuffled the undercover, the unfinished back in.
True. True. Maybe he's just looking for edge pips at this point.
Did you put anything out? Oh, you shuffled back in?
Yeah, shuffle back in Obi-Wan and Luke Skywalker in my deck.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then
shuffled
have,
back an Obi and a
at the same
Luke.
place?
I put them at Enforced Loyalty.
Okay, so there's 2 cards there now?
There's just Undercover in there.
Okay.
The 1 card. Alright.
I think Josh is trying to figure out how undercover works, as I was earlier. So
Action during the refresh phase, I'm going to pay 1.
Action during
I'm gonna
refresh.
spend,
putting another card underneath. Yep.
sit under,
Pouring Fire goes under as well.
go to draw phase, I'm going to discard.
Josh really needs to win an edge battle, or this game is going to be over.
So
I
yeah,
need-
Draw 5 cards.
Kraken gets white blast for every captured card at the engaged objective.
Yeah, white blast. So, I mean, basically, Josh needs to win
You win the edge.
the edge battle and just lock down his board with Palp, right?
Yep. Well, at the moment, there's only 2 blast on Kraken.
And 1 on Yoda.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So I guess Kraken would go first. Lock down, Palpy.
or Yoda. They both have tactics.
Yeah, both of them could do it. Well, Yoda would kill Palpy with 6 guns at the moment.
So Darkseid does have the Force right now. Both of them forgot to flip their tokens, but Darkseid does have.
Vehicle and speeder.
Yeah. Luke Speeder. Jeez.
Another unique trait. This deck is really good against Dark Genocide.
Luke's land speeder is going to attack Follow the Jack.
Luke's Speeder at full.
Which you have to defend because otherwise it just redirects it.
Only this one, but it's 2 resources.
Discard pile?
Yeah, have to defend because the Speeder can redirect to Enforced and will blow it up.
Business, Moisture Vape, Yoda UC Yoda, Infiltrator, R2D2, Yoda UC Yoda.
Okay.
Got to block. Palpy's got to step up.
Alright, I block.
Okay.
Yep, we have a block.
Dante calls it. I'm sure Daniel has the seeds because why not? Let's see.
Redirect to whatchamacallit? The one I'm trying to kill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so 1 in.
So he redirected?
2 in.
Yep.
Why would he redirect right now?
Cards left?
Pass.
3 cards left.
And alright.
2 cards in.
Oh, so
Daniel.
you can still directly engage.
Yeah,
right?
you've declared the engagement in full.
So I got
2 to 2.
Can I have you now in a supporting fire?
I have you now in supporting
Twist and
fire.
a choke.
Oh, the clutch twist from Josh. Beautiful.
And that would make me think that he doesn't have a seeds because if he did, he wouldn't have been able to add it with the support and fire. So
Yeah.
But
Seeds.
Oh, twist! Boom, baby!
no!
1 in.
Oh my god.
Double
2
twist.
in. And I'm all in. 6 pips.
2 pips. Oh god.
Should be game.
Oh.
Is it game?
Had to send
Oh yeah, it is game. Yeah, because he can engage the objective. So
Oh,
Yeah.
Land Speeder puts 2 on it and a tactics on Palpy.
Now that's effectively 6 pips with Obi-Wan in hand.
Yeah.
And if not, I had the
And then yeah, any other unit can come in and finish it off.
that was an insane edge battle right there. Twist at
Yeah,
Pants
finally blowing
mentions,
up.
yes.
It's a pretty good card. Wow, that was
I was worried about my objective flop.
brutally quick. This deck comes out swinging. If you know how to stack everything and order the effects.
Yeah, that was bad on my part. I should have killed off Kraken.
Yeah,
Man,
it took longer to set this up than it
you
just.
did to play.
Playing that in Bach later would have.
Yeah.
That was a very impressive. I have not seen that list specifically before, but
Yeah.
um,
Kraken Yoda turn 1 feels like a pretty dreamy start for Daniel.
Easily my favorite part of the game.
oh for sure. And I mean,
And then once Leia comes out, the shenanigans you
the-
can do.
I don't know if any of this has to do with genocide specifically, but that was amazing at the end there. He had
You can, like,
4
you can use
mains
Leia.
on the
If you can
board
find a
with
way to
with
sack
no
that, that's the
overlapping
biggest problem with her. You have to find ways to
traits.
get her
Yeah.
off the board.
So Dark
But, like,
Genocide
with
not doing too
engagement,
much work there.
You know, like you send the Kraken and
No, it's still a free unit that dies, but which is better than most objectives.
No one's really thinking about it. Like, okay, whatever. He's just there to send them for tax.
Yeah, Pansy, we were rooting for a game 2 as well, but it looks like it's not to be. But yeah, great edge battles there from Josh trying to keep the game alive. 2 twists, but just too many pips for Daniel.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah, and that was part of that undercover thing, right? Like twice he shuffled in big force pip cards, so
Yep.
Yeah.
that's gonna help you win edge battles. So
Yeah, you see, force to run Jan's never good.
I would like to know what Daniel's list is. I'm gonna ask him to.
Well, I was going to say we can mute our call and hop back in the Skype call and start asking some questions. And if anyone in the Twitch chat has any questions for these players, ask your questions now, and we'll relay them on. But give us a second whilst we switch it over and adjust the audio.
Hey guys, before you put everything away, you guys want to like talk about those decks? That was a pretty unique deck we saw from Daniel's side.
Yeah, I mean this deck's been kicking ass this tournament. It's 6-0 total.
All right. I have not seen it. I did not participate in this tournament because I do not use the octagons. But
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 2 Krakens, 2 Owen. Where is it?
1 Wasteland OB.
Yep. Here. 2 Pilot Lukes. Where is it? 2 Krakens, 1 Kyle, and 1 Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, Kyle just ended it.
Oh yeah.
Baby.
So the idea behind this deck is you want to give the Kraken as many opportunities possible to inflict just pain with either planning the rescue or just his reaction. So like Kyle's a double main pod, Luke's a double main pod, and then between Owen's objective and the Kraken's objective, you can shed 6 cards off the top of your deck.
Yeah.
So Undercover has more value because when you shuffle cards back in, your deck's thinner, so you're more likely to top deck an Obi-Wan that you just shuffled in.
Just again, anyone in chat who wants to ask a question,
so we
leave
can't
it
really
now.
hear you, Andy.
Andy, are you in the Skype chat?
I'm
now?
in the Skype chat. You should be able to hear me. There we go. Just prompting the chat to ask some questions if they've got any, so we can direct them on to you guys. But there's a bit of a delay.
Yeah. So obviously you had a pretty bad objective flop, right? You want to see more of your Jedi. I hadn't seen this list before, so I wasn't sure exactly what you were trying to do until halfway through the first round when you just started blowing stuff up.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably the most valuable objective at Hero's Beginning. And the reason is, like, the Kraken needs to win edge battles. And if he doesn't win edge battles, the value of the card just drops dramatically.
Yeah.
But
it's actually why I left him up and killed Yoda, because I'm like, well, I have good edge hands. I can maybe deal with it that way, but...
Yeah, that was a brutal edge battle, that last edge battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like all the contingencies to deal with whatever edge hand you could throw at me.
Yeah, you figure 2 twists, you're all right half the time, but
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so like if you can, the Kraken, if he can get like 1 major shot off where it's like for 3 bombs and you get another guy on the board, that kind of just ends the game a lot of times.
Yeah.
So Owen's objective just goes a long way towards doing that. Plus also like the fear of, oh my gosh, this guy's stuck under Owen's objective. That goes away when you can just shuffle the cards back in your deck.
Yeah, luckily you can't bring Kraken back with unfinished business anymore.
Jedi units.
Yeah, this is a modification of so the deck I was gonna run for World is actually this deck, and you swap these 2 out for the Falcon. That was my original Worlds deck, and then they errated unfinished business, and then I had to change it up a little bit. Because that deck was all sorts of ridiculous. But this one's still good. It does a lot of really good stuff. And then Luke's really underrated as a unit. Like, I think as a main unit, he's bad. But if you compare him to a Believer in the Old Ways, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And he can help you turn chicken, bad hands into chicken salad hands. Like, if you draw on Luke's your only unit, you're kind of okay with it. Like, he can still do work. Or if
in worst case, he can go on either his speeder or his either of his rides and one-shot objective too.
Yeah, that's possible. I don't think I've ever played him as a pilot. I used to like to have him as like he's good edge fodder because he's a 3-pip card, and he's also great capture fodder for either rescue mission or or the Kraken's reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your guy. It's just all about the Kraken's pod in this deck.
Yeah.
And other cards are supported. Or you get, like, surprise, surprise Kyle to just finish off games.
Yeah, or double strike.
Yep. You can also, I like having Ron's Guidance in the deck just to manipulate my card draws a lot. Because Ron's Guidance increases the value of the Kraken's Chud and increases the value of Moisture Vaporator.
Got a question in chat for Daniel. Have you ever gotten value from R2, or is he just too slow for this deck? That comes from Pansy G.
R2, I only play him if Thrawn's out there. But he's not bad. Like, normally R2 is a dead card. The biggest problem I have with him is that he doesn't have force pips. So even if he looks like he could be useful, I just dump him out of the gate because I don't want to have bad edge cards. But when I do get him on the table, he's awesome because this deck has no other forms of shielding. So being the fact that he's the only guy with shielding in the deck, he does something useful there. But on the same pod, though, a card that's really underrated is Use the Force Luke.
Yeah.
Because if you get that, because you can hold on to it. Typically, when you play edge battles, you don't go all in every time. You can hold 1 to 2 cards back as a bluff. So you can hold that card back, and then when it's your turn, pre-draw phase, you dump it.
Yeah.
But you still get to scry the top card of your deck. So you get to look at more cards, manipulate your draws more, and then just, your hand size is now bigger. Or if you draw it first turn, like if you see Yoda first turn, you're getting 2 cards out of your hand plus the card you discard, and your deck gets thinned out because you pull the Yoda out of there, and you're drawing 3 cards while still getting a guy on the board.
Yeah. Jarrett in chat says R2 is all about timing. I can tell you I very rarely get value from him in a similar deck.
Yeah. The only place I really liked him was with Heroes of the Rebellion. Like him going on with Tycho or something like that.
Yeah, you need him to be in a deck, like for him to get like maximum value is you need him in a deck with a lot of pilots because then he can start refreshing ships. And Tycho's like a perfect guy for him. Because you get the you got the protection and the healing factor.
Josh, I was going to say, I don't know if you want to lay your objectives out on Matt. I don't know if the chat are fully aware of what your deck was. We got a good look at most of them, I think. But
it was like a 2 a.m. on the chat with Tom build last night.
It was.
All right, so I got 3 Navy, then 2 Bach, 2 Web, and 1 each of Council, Vader, and Mara.
Okay.
And this ended up being pulled in like instead of a Ceres kind of at the end to get because I wanted another twist, and Tarkin is pretty big. Whenever like behind Sith, like if you can blank something and still have Emperor up to block.
Yeah, it's a good place to be, for sure.
And the enhancement's still a time walk at times, or
Yeah, what's it called? Rule by Fear is something I definitely don't want to see ever.
Yeah. Especially ever against smugglers is the worst because they pretty much just waste their whole turn with the Falcon to pop it.
Yeah.
But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 good platforms to have any of the 4 lightsabers in the deck on.
Yeah.
I guess the scariest thing for me with that deck was Arden Lynn, which never showed up.
Yeah.
Like, I kept thinking the expendable
she
Scout
got like last minute. She was like in a set 11 for a minute, but I just really wanted to find the missions more often and loyalty cards more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Genocide, I think this is just a bad matchup for it because you're burning so many cards on the board that your edge hand gets weaker, even if you have Council. And then you run into an additional problem with this deck where like nothing shares traits.
Yeah, we were about to mention, Daniel, we got to mention it in the commentary that you just had all your units with unique traits that wasn't going to demolish
it. I mean, like you could have 3 Jedis out, or you could have like 2 spies. Is about as far as I can get.
Well, if I had like Kyle and Obi-Wan out there, then you could do some real work.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it like you blow it up and it just kills one dude.
Well, it kills one dude plus maybe the targeting on the other. But
yeah, it definitely seemed like that turn where you picked up Bach. Like if you had a Sith lightsaber on that turn, it could have been a big deal. Like instead of just killing the land speeder, you could have killed. Or not the land speeder, whoever you killed early.
The
Yoda.
I had Mara's saber in hand, but I wanted to save it for edge.
You needed a tactic so you could lock down Kraken earlier. because he was able to set up the second captured objective like thing.
Yeah, I found no tactics until Emperor, like, was that turn 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the Emperor shows up, and that was like the last turn.
Yeah, and that edge happened.
That edge happened, and we got it on film.
So we have another question. Josh, has Imperial Fist helped you get more value out of Mara's objective? I'm assuming
that comes Coulter Cookson.
I got one test game in with Tom like at 3 o'clock. So flipping out last turn was the first time.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the answer to your question.
Well, before Worlds, I was kind of testing Yularen and Sith, and Agent never really came up. I'm kind of used to burying it some of the time, because in a lot of the matchups you get to use it not even one turn. Like if you get it with loyalty, I mean, then you'll get to they'll have to make a choice. But I mean, usually they can push damage through on Agent first turn.
I'm not sure if he's trolling, but Dante says, "You know who helps with dark side tactics? Balance Mara."
He's not. He's not trolling.
He's not.
He won a store championship using that, and he tried to convince me to play her as well.
Yeah, we've had talks. She's
the
brutal with Saber.
Yeah, but the chuds in that set, three cost are they?
Yeah, they're 3 cost. I'll tell you what, in 2v2 they're ridiculous because they can attack 6 times, but...
Fantasy SG says, how many killed guys do you think Genocide needs to catch to be good? In my opinion, if it kills one main, it's still pretty good, especially if you can tactics or dark side.
Yeah, I mean...
It's like a delayed lightning, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Dark Genocide, just because it has 6 health. And then it's unpredictable as to how much value you're going to get out of it, whereas you compare it to like the Trooper mission, where you can always go get Thrawn. Yeah. Right? Like that's a known quantity. And then I feel like if you play missions, you have to play really aggressive. So if you're like most Sith decks kind of pick their spots on when to attack. And it's like if you're trying to debate whether or not you're attacking, you're definitely not going to get the value you want out of the missions. Whereas like if your deck's built around attacking missions, then
but it's kind of where this pod comes in a bit, because then you can maybe only have to send like one attack at it if you get to move some damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and with Bach specifically, you're gonna want to be sending Bach on the offensive if you have a mission in play. Like.
Yeah, we did a local a few weeks ago, and I was running just mono Sith with missions, and I put the 3rd mission in the assassination contract, and it did some work. I got 4 troopers against like a Crix Judder deck off the table. That was probably the most value I've ever gotten out of Genocide, was 4 troopers.
Yeah, well, there's a secondary issue with it, which is that Sith is really good at removing stuff already. So by the time you blow up the Genocide, you will have probably already removed most of the board if you got in that position.
It depends on the situation. I have had games where that's been the case, but like I played a game yesterday where I was playing against a vehicle deck and they had Falcon and like 3 fighters on the board, and I was able to swing in, targeted strike the Falcon to kill it, and then blow up the objective fighter and like have a full board wipe. So there are times where it will, and I specifically think it's better against fighters than it is characters, right? Like Sith has a lot of other ways of dealing with characters, where this gives you more ways to deal with fighters.
The other like living the dream scenario, which I almost got off, but I didn't have another unit in my hand, is I had Mythal and Imperial Fist in my hand. What I could have done instead of Emperor is if I found any other unit for some blast, I needed 1 more damage on the mission, and I could have just defended with Mythal and blew it up on the defense with the Imperial Fist. And,
that would have been a slick move, because then you kill it.
Yeah, I just didn't have another unit in my hand.
Well, I mean, yeah, so Well, at that point, because it had 3 damage on it, right?
Yeah,
So
it had 3, so I would have needed like
anyone else,
something
right?
like that.
Well, because you could send one guy in for. Oh, and I had the.
You
I
had
had red
5 for defense, but if I just send one little chud at it, I'm not sure if you're willing to trade red 5 because he would have overtapped.
Yeah, it would have depended on who you're sending, right? If you're sending a guy with 1 health, I might send red 5 for defense because I didn't like my hand too much.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't like using I use a resource after the refresh phase to just get rid of a card because I just wanted to beef up my edge hand more than anything else. It wasn't even to beef up the Kraken.
But yeah, that would have bought me a turn because I could have killed Kraken on the defense. And healed the objective up, so you would have just had Yoda and red 5 striking.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, I needed another unit for that move.